Hello and welcome to my meditation. I'm so grateful that you have joined us for this little while. We are going to just relax and do nothing and let go of everything and try to think as little as possible. Sound good? Okay, let's get started. Oh, by the way, my name is Deborah Baker, and see you at the end of this meditation. I'm going to get off screen so we can just fully relax. As usual, let's begin with our 3 nice, really deep breaths. So breathe in and fill up your chest. Hold it for a moment and then release it slowly. And now breathe in this time, fill up your chest and your back, fill up your entire rib cage. Feel your skin expand, stretch a little. Hold it for a moment and then release it nice and slowly. And now take the biggest breath you've taken all day. Fill up your chest, your back, and your belly. Hold it for a moment and then let it all go. So I have experienced occasionally in my life direction from Spirit to just give up. I know that sounds crazy, and I'll explain it a little further. But first, let's imagine that we're giving up all the stress and tension in our bodies. We're tired of carrying it. We're not going to hold on to any nonsense anymore. So tighten up pull the muscles in your legs and feet to the bones, and just squeeze it for maybe a breath cycle. And release it on the exhale. And now tighten all the muscles from your tailbone all the way up to your chest. Just pull all your abdominal muscles in, your back. You pull up your pelvic floor for a breath cycle. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then let it go. And now your hands. So squeeze your hands into fists and tense up your arm muscles. Squeeze your arms to your sides. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Breathe in and let it go on the breathe out. And now my favorite part, pull your shoulders up to your ears. Tuck your chin a little bit. Pull your face to your skull. Just imagine squeezing everything up there. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze it. Breathe in and let it go. Drop your shoulders on the exhale. And we will ask our bodies to continue to let go, to continue to release this entire meditation. So I get a sense that a lot of us, well actually most of my clients in the last few weeks, and even just people I have conversation with, seem overwhelmed. They seem like they're trying to figure everything out. I've got this piece of information that makes me think this way, but then what if I do this? And all the ifs, ands, and buts. What if, and all of that. We just think, because that's what we're taught to do. And what the guides told me our meditation today is about not thinking. We're not thinking. We're not trying to figure anything else. We are giving up. We are letting go. Stop trying to figure it out. Stop trying to, be part of the solution. Sometimes the solution comes from God, not us, or through us. The solution can come directly from the infinite. It doesn't have to come from us. Sometimes it does. But if it isn't, if you've been trying and trying, one quick suggestion before suggesting that you just completely let it go. And that is this idea that you present it to Spirit in such a way that you kind of create the scenario for your answer. For example, when I've had incidences where I needed to have a difficult conversation, or I thought maybe I did, then I would say to my spirit guides and guardian angels, if I am supposed to have this conversation, create the context, meaning put me in a space where I am alone with this person or persons, where we have a setting that feels safe for me, where I feel like I will be heard. And so create the context, create the space for me, and then give me the words. And so I had a situation one time where I was alone in a car with these two people I had something to share with, or share about. And each time that I opened my mouth to say something, one of them said something very critical about someone else. And after the third time, I thought that was my guide's way of saying, yes, you have the space, but this isn't a good thing. You don't need to share this right now. And so I trusted that I had gotten the answer I needed, and I went on, and I came to find out that it would not have been a good thing for me to share that. And I absolutely, without question, trust my spirit guides and guardian angels. And I encourage you to do the same. So imagine that your spirit guides and guardian angels are trustworthy. I remember one of my friends telling me, we were talking about the third step of the 12 steps, which is made a decision to turn my life and my will over to the care of God as I understand God. So my friend Kevin said, it says right there, care of God, not just to turn it over to God willy-nilly or, without thought. It was turning it over to the care of God, meaning God does take care of us. And I felt such comfort in the idea of my God, my higher power, caring about me. And so when you decide to give up, I've tried everything, I give up. That is the most powerful place to be. So I'm just going to say that sentence again, I give up, and let us have some quiet for a moment to just think about how that feels and what that means. I give up. My observation about what happens when I give up is that I become teachable. The calm settles. I stop trying, I stop pushing, I stop trying to figure it out and exerting so much fruitless energy. It is important to give up sometimes. I can't even think of the exact scenario, but I remember being in a situation where there was a lot of people talking at once, and one person was trying to exert their will and finally said, I give up, and walked out of the room. And the peace that was there was like, oh, thank goodness. Sometimes we try so hard to please other people, to make other people happy. And the truth of the matter is, people have a right to be as unhappy as they want to be. When we let go, when we give up, we admit that we are powerless over other people, other situations, everything outside of ourselves. And sometimes we just need to admit that to ourselves. And saying those words, I give up, means I can't control this. I can't even impact it. I give up because I know that it is not my ego's choices that matter. It is the infinite moving in, through, and as me. It's not my will that I need to impose on everyone, even if it is well-intentioned. What is important is allowing the infinite presence, God, universal life force, to move in, through, and as me. And then I don't have to give up because I am one with the infinite. I recognize my oneness, and I feel the actual power moving through me, in me, and as me. The power doesn't lie in the ego. It doesn't lie in the personality. It doesn't lie in the drama or the pity or the rage. The power lies in the infinite. And when we let go of all of the nonsense, all of the things that lie to us, like anxiety, like rage, like justification and rationalization, all of those things, when I let go of all of those things that lie to me, and I allow the quiet, I create space for the infinite to express in, through, and as me. Your infinite voice has been and continues and will continue to speak to you. It's never left you. It's never, abandoned you. It's just quiet. And when we get quiet, the voice gets louder. So I invite you to give up, to let go, to just be, even if it's only for one long breath cycle. And know there is one who has all power, and it is moving in, through, and as you. You've never been separated from it. You never could be separated from it. The one presence and the one power is always moving in, through, and as you. So I'm going to have a moment of silence for you to just be quiet and allow the infinite to maybe express to you, or maybe just express to you in peace, peaceful energy. And now join with me. Take a deep breath, and we'll hold it for a count of 10, or however long you want to hold it, and then release it. Counted silently in my head because I thought we needed the silence. Let's do it again, and you can count in your head. When we hold our breaths, we create a stillness. And I invite you to practice that, because it's a powerful way to create stillness for yourself. And it actually can lower your blood pressure if you're having issues with that. But just know that you are doing your best. You don't owe anybody any explanations. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not flawed or inferior or need to be fixed. And when you give up, it doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It means maybe I'm willing to consider something else. So one more nice deep breath. It's interesting, when you focus on letting go and giving up, then you connect to the infinite power. But there is some validity in hanging in the powerlessness, even if it's just for a few breath cycles. Hanging in the powerlessness creates, it's like clearing the table, clearing the space, so that the infinite presence can express to us more clearly and more fully. One more breath. So thank you again for joining us in letting go, giving up. I encourage you to discover the power of giving up. We say letting go, but when we say letting go, it still has that sense of we're doing something. Whereas when we give up, we get out of the way. And it's worth it. It's powerful. Sometimes when we admit we are powerless, when we engage with our powerlessness, that's the most powerful place we can be. So let me remind you again that you are whole and perfect exactly as you are. And the one presence moving in, through, and as me honors and recognizes, cherishes the one presence moving in, through, and as you. Namaste. Have a wonderful week.